Welcome to Tire Foam Gaming, where I'm here to show you my builds, share my tips, and probably build something not quite right. Oh, I just did the wrong side. My crooked power tower I need to fix. But we'll have some fun along the way. Alright, well, welcome back. Expanding on my fix-it empire here at Nebula Sanctum. I've got this whole train going around my whole map out here, set up to collect different materials along the way. Right now I'm just focused on oil because I want to expand my power generation for the rest of the expansion for making stuff. So this is going to be the site for my fuel power generators until I get to nuclear, then I'll figure out what I want to do. But I have 4 nodes here. I've got 2 over here. There's one back behind my building over here. And then there's one down over here too. And I've started with, I'm just going to use my general refinery building to process this into fuel and into polymer residue. I think that's what it's called. And then that polymer residue, either I'm going to process it here and send it as plastic maybe, back to my main base out over that way, because I need more plastic out there. So I might process that here, cart it down and out, and maybe put a little site over here and have another train come through and pick up the plastic. I know there's another big node right here of oil. I just don't have that extractor thing made yet. So I'm trying something a little bit different just with the expansion here. This is going to be these 2 sides of this long walkway will be the refineries, and I think I'll have enough space. I can always expand out that way if I need to, and then down further that way on the line is going to be all of the fuel generators, and then I'll have this power line in the middle and piping in the middle and all of this infrastructure going through here to support all of that. Just with this part here, I've got 4 nodes, plus there's this other one that I can't do anything with, and I have no idea how much I'm going to get out of it. But just with these 4 nodes, I'm getting 720 oil per minute, which translates all the way down to 480 fuel per minute with 12, I think. Yeah, 12 refineries. And to use that up for fuel and power, I'm going to need 24 fuel generators. So I'm going to look at what this means for the satellite one, but I think I'm going to just lay this out a little bit differently, and I'll show you what I mean. What I mean is I have my extra fuel or oil coming in here to be refined at this site. I could refine it back at the other oil node, but I think I just want to bring it in and do all of that here so it's self-contained. And I think what I'm going to do is have this whole row of refineries be just for oil coming in. And then I'll have another row of refineries over here that will be for the 4 nodes here, plus whatever I get out from this one over here. Because I need 24 generators, and I'm starting here on my generator blueprint. But 24 of these, that's 12 of these blueprints, and they're 5 wide, so that's 50 plus, let me just use this, 5 times 12 is 60 foundations wide. The spacing in between each of these power towers are only 20. That's 20 and about half, so about 30, so twice as long. This huge, long power generation area. Alright, so over here in the satellite extractor oil area, I've got 3 nodes, 1 to 240, 2 120s, so that's 480 oil, and what that means is I'm going to be consuming that with 8 refineries, and I'll be producing 320 fuel per minute. So that means I need 16 fuel generators to consume all of this. Okay, so making some progress here. I've kind of changed my whole layout just to get stuff to fit a little bit better, just based on what I'm doing, like how much oil is coming in on this trail, or how much oil is coming on this train. I need 8 refineries to process that, so I've got those set up right here. And I've got some room for expansion if I needed to. And then I've got 12 over on this side. So I've got all 12 of these set up. I've got my pipe run. It's just coming in. I'm encasing it for now. I might do some other different things later. And it's pumping right into each one of these. So kind of strange how this one comes down this way and then comes back up through over here. But I'm okay with it. I think it looks cool to have the pipe go all the way across like that. So 240 from that one, 240 from that one, and then two 120 nodes. And then what I did is I have a pipeline Mark II coming out of here, and a Mark II pump right here just for fit. And then that splits into two Mark Is just to make the Mark Is flow through there, and I think that just looks nicer. Same thing with that over there is a 240 node, and that brings it splits it off into two Mark Is and comes down through here. And then I've got same thing coming through here, two 120s just routing through and coming into there. I've got some power lines run underneath all of this, and now what I need to do is get this hooked up to my generators over here. And I also need to go ahead and set up some conveyor belts to take the residual plastic, or residual, what is it called? Residual polymer resin, not residual, polymer resin. Take that out and have that, I'm probably just gonna sink it for the time being. Let's just double check my numbers. I have 12 of these guys. I have 30 per minute. And 12 times 30 is 360. So I'll be able to contain all of that on one Mark IV belt, and then I will eventually feed that in. Either I'll take the polymer resin straight up to a plastic processing place, or I will process it here in the plastic and then use my train setup to bring that all the way back to my main base. Oh, I just did the wrong side. This is where all that polymer resin is coming out. So what I need to figure out now is how I'm gonna run my pipes for my fuel coming out. I kind of like the idea of having these all, I mean, I have less fuel coming out, but I kind of like the idea of keeping them in blocks of 2. That way I can overclock these by enough, right? So there's 240 in here, and if I did this one at a full 2.5% of overclock, 2.5 times 240 is 600. So that would split off nicely, and then these could also consume that 2.5 times as much too coming out. So my pipe work is all set up for expansion with overclocking everything to 2.5. Fuel, 20 cubic meters per minute of burn rate, which is half of what's being refined from one of those. So I can power 4 of these per pipe. No, 8 of these per pipe. This doesn't seem right. 8? That's... I'm gonna do some math. So, okay. So per generator, I consume 20 fuel per minute. I produce 40 per refinery. So that means each section of 2 is going to power a bank of 4. So I had made this blueprint before when I was doing my coal plant, and I'm going to use it for here too. So I need 6 pipes going in to support this whole thing, and I'll have to do a little bit of finagling for this corner here, but basically if I have it match up to here, I go back 2, and then I'll be able to get the whole line of pipe running right to the middle to feed these whole generators. So I should set this up as a blueprint too. This is a corner piece just to get the pipes to connect in a nice corner fashion. So they're 2 clicks off of each other. So from here to here, and I just go to noodle these these ones. And we'll get these put together. That's the wrong one. Like that. And then I can just run these straight down and figure out how I want to peel everything off. And what I'll probably do is get like, do banks of from the side, right? So I need, this can power 8 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 8 from here. And then that middle one would do that 8, that top middle one would do that 8. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I was trying to do with my math there, but each one of these pipes is going to do 4. And we are hooked up and running. Look at all that pipe. Look at all those generators. Now, I still have stuff kind of stabilizing here, so let's see what we got going on here. That one blue. So each of these two will produce 500 megawatts. So now this whole bank, if I look down the aisle, that whole bank on the left is attached to my main power grid through the rail system. So now I can produce 13,800 megawatts. That's only with half of this connected. I think the other half is 3,000 megawatts. So what I'm gonna do until I get this outside figured out is I'm just going to, because I'll probably connect these together. So I'm just gonna connect that bank to this bank. Now before I do that, if I just look at one of these, this whole bank is producing 3,000 megawatts. So I'm going to hook up another 3,000 to this. And I'll try to remember to get that wire hooked up better later on down the line. So yeah, let's see. What do we got running here? My crooked power tower I need to fix. So now we're doing 16,800 megawatts. And I'm consuming about half. I'm producing stuff. I've got my sink down there. I'll get that squared away. And we are now electrically operational. That was a pretty quick and easy expansion. I did use the Mark II blueprinter for those ones. I think that looks pretty cool. Refineries on this side, and then power over there. And next I'm going to get the plastic going back, dump that on the train and get that going. Be neat if I did like one of these. Maybe I'll do that for another blueprint, is one refinery and have that power 2 generators and have that together in one building. Got a nice view through here too, although these wires are in the way. Finish up some decorations. All right, well, power is being generated. We'll move on to the next stage of getting plastic going, getting fuel in to do this side over here. All right, see you later.